discussion maybe after. Huh? I'll introduce once the live stream start. I'll introduce the judges once. Yeah, everybody is going to see that. Now I'll introduce the judges initially. Why don't you start the live stream and let me know. In fact, if you can just ping me the link also, that would be good. Session maybe after. Stream live. I'll introduce once the live stream start. I'll introduce the judges once. Yeah, everybody is going to see that. Now I'll introduce the judges initially. Why don't you start the live stream and let me know. Yeah, you guys can start. Yeah. In fact, I'll email you guys the link also. That would be good. Okay, I'm just opening the link here. Okay, welcome everyone. This is the fourth edition of KUSAT Hackathon, Makeathon 4, and we are here in the finals. There will be two categories, one for the hackathon competition and one for Hack for KUSAT. So this is the finals. We have 11 teams, and each of the teams will have a hard stop at 15 minutes. So if you can finish your presentation within 10 minutes, that is better, so that we can have more engaging discussion after the presentation. I want to introduce the judges. The first one, Balesh Lakshmi Narayan. He's the CTO, now the CEO of Absys. He is 2004 Electronics SOE KUSAT alumni. He, I think, incubated a Salesforce company after completing BTech from KUSAT. I think TMAPI, right? Manipal Institute of Management MBA, worked for Infosys, was in Europe for a while, came back, started his own Salesforce company, and actually sold it to a US firm. So, he has been recruiting from KUSAT quite often. So maybe your seniors have seen him. In fact, I've introduced him several times at campus for placement. So yeah, happy to have you here, Balesh.
Thank you, Vijay. Pleasure. Thank you.
I'll go with another alumni now. So one of the sponsors of this hackathon is School of Engineering Alumni Association, and we have with us the president of School of Engineering Alumni Association, Srikanth here. He's a 2008 computer science pass out. He's right now with TCS as an associate consultant. He was previously with VGuard. Hello, Srikanth.
Hi, Vijay. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, and I'll be helping him out. I'm the secretary of Alumni Association. So together we'll be contributing as one judge for this event. And we have with us Dr. Nalesh from KUSAT. He's in Department of Electronics. He's an alumni of NIT Calicut, IIT Delhi, and IISc Bangalore. He's currently serving as the chair of RFID Society in IEEE Kerala section. Welcome, Dr. Nalesh.
Yeah, thank you, Vijay.
Okay, so I think I've kept it brief. We can start with the first evaluation. Can we have the first team on stage, please? Do we have a name for it? Should I announce it? Okay, we'll start with XDev. We'll onboard team XDev. This is the general hackathon. So once they start there, I'll call their time start. Just give us some seconds for the first team to onboard. After that, it will be more streamlined. Hi, Vishal. Can you unmute?
Hi, sir.
Yeah. Can you mention your team name?
Okay, sir. In the chat box.
No. You can just say it.
Okay, sir. Sir, water saviors.
Water Saviors. So you're number 2, Water
Okay,
Saviors.
sir.
So I
Okay,
think
sir.
you can share the screen and start your presentation. If you can, stop the presentation within 10 minutes, that will be nice.
Okay, sure, sir. Sir, I'm only available from my team. My other teammate has some other work, so I will be
Sure.
presenting it, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Just for the information of the judges, we have had 2 evaluations already. So it will be a combination at the end. So we
Sure,
have
sir.
tracked their progress, after 8 hours. So Saturday morning,
Yes, sir.
9:10 it started. We had an evaluation in the evening at 6 p.m. Again, another evaluation today morning at 9 before arriving at the finalists. So we'll
Yes, sir.
combine all the marks. So Vishal, you can share the screen and go ahead.
Okay, sir. So, sir, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So, good evening, everyone. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, my project name is Wheels for Water. So, basically, my project is based on the theme of smart water management. So, myself is Vishal Vats and my team, the member is Harshika Vats. So, let's have a look at the problem statement of our project. So, you must have witnessed that many, either it is a rural or urban area. In every way, you can see that there is some water wastage to the overflowing water tanks. So by this project, we thought of tackling this problem and somehow eliminate to the full extent. So let's have a look what we have done. So as of now, there are only two methods of intimating the user whenever the water tank is about to be filled. First one is the water flow alarm sensor, which just beeps off, and this is a solenoid valve. But both of them are not proving to be efficient as of now because around annually 1 trillion liters of water is wasted, which is alarmingly causing water scarcity problem in the whole world. So our project does try to solve the problem in an efficient and elegant way. So what our project does. So basically, we have made a project in the hardware and the software part. In the hardware part, there are three major components, which are robotics, machine learning, and cloud computing. Robotics, as the medium of interaction, we have designed the robot in such a fashion that it will reach to the user and intimate him that the water is about to be filled, and it's your duty to turn it off. So basically, robot is for an intimation purpose, and how to give a brain to the robot. The same will be done by the machine learning algorithm. If you precisely want to know which algorithm we have used ID3 algorithm, which is iterative dichotomizer, means repeatedly we do the division. So this machine learning feeds as the input to the robotics, and accordingly the robot will be deployed. Cloud computing aspect comes here because we have used an IoT or smart cloud device, which in our case is the Bolt IoT module. So Bolt is the CSP, cloud service provider in our case, and it helps the user to control the project from anywhere around the world. Now let's have a look at the hardware component. So basically these are the hardware stuff. Arduino is for the setup which goes with the water tanks and water motor. Node MCU is for the robotics. So basically these 30 electrical sensors have been used for the project. You can find the list here. All the sensors are mentioned. And having a look at the software online services, both is a CSP. Integromat is for the webhooks designing. Twilio is for the messaging purposes in order to intimate the user, and all other stuff are for the coding, the front end and the back end of the project. Customize options. What our project is uniquely providing, that there is no project which is giving the aid to the user that he or she can control the water motor at his or her ease. So basically our project will be giving 4 custom options in order to control the project. First one being the Node MCU based robot. Second is the voice command, which will be controlled by the Python script. Dedicated website, which will also be provided to the user, and the CSP cloud dashboard will also be there. But wait, as I've told earlier, I will be using the robot. So how will I be providing a brain to the robot? So here comes the use of machine learning model. So the IDC is used for the machine learning, and then accordingly the robot will get to know where it has to be deployed. So this is the proposed solution. We have made this project in such a fashion that the project can be applied by a whole community setting. Means it is not of only personal interest. It can serve the whole community or whole world. So basically, this is the state of the output, and this is the first water reservoir. The first water reservoir water tank is shifted into the water towers. So initially the solenoid valve will be turned off. So basically, after filling up to the brim, this valve will be turned off, and then a DC motor will pump the water to the user's water tank. This is the water flow sensor through which I will be getting the water flow rate, how many liter of water is passing per second. So that is for the water flow sensor. And accordingly, when the water is about to be filled, a robot will be deployed at the user's home. Also, WhatsApp notifications will be provided to user, and accordingly, the user can interact with the project. So let's have a look at the working of this video, what it does. Judges, as you can see that this is a robot. I have just the wire coming out of this just for the powering purposes, as I didn't find an attachable power source for this. So
robot will be deployed for the destination, completing the dataset, and then we'll push the data onto the Integromat scenario. We'll use the iterative dichotomizer 3 algorithm to predict the place.
So now the robot has fetched the value attribute, and now it is following that line which is given the value. I2C LCD which is being updated. And sir, this was the one of the methods for controlling the project. And say, sir, I am near the actual setup, so I can control the project through my voice command also. So let's have a look at the voice command.
Dichotomizer 3 algorithm to predict the place. Congrats, user. 1 cycle of option now. Speak out.
Can you please switch off the motor?
Congrats, user.
So this is the second way of controlling through the voice command. And if I share my screen again, you can see that I have also made the website for this same. The user can just have user can just have logged in the website, and accordingly he or she can control the water motor. So wheelsforwater.me is the website. After clicking on here, I just have to fill up my credentials. So here it is saying that which device you want to choose in order to control. So at max, the user can have 2 IoT smart devices connect to its website. So say I will controlling 8534 device. So clicking on proceed, this is a landing page, and this will be the area of interest for the user. So this is the switch it off button. So as of now, I have not entered an invalid API key, but if the user is having a valid IoT device, then this switch it off button will work, and accordingly the water motor at the user's home will be turned off. Also, sir, these are the different things which I have used for the project, and these are the same. And this is the CSP cloud dashboard which I was talking about. So basically, this is the scenario where the user can just have a look that when the motor was turned on and off. And also, I can download the .csv file here from here also. Also, sir, one of the main feature of this website.
Vishal, you have 1 minute left.
Okay, sir. So, sir, this schedule section enables the user to, in order to control the robot, or just to intimate the robot that for the next 2 days I'm not at home, so you don't have to be deployed. So stay at the place where you are. So do energy conservation and don't roam here and there. So that's the schedule section, and anyone can access this. So, sir, these are the 4 custom options which I've made for this project.
Okay. So Vishal, just for my understanding, so I understand the towers, and okay, I know probably you're thinking,
Yes,
okay, you can pump it from one tower to the next. Maybe
yes,
others, there are other approaches where you can just shut it off and probably pump from pump for the second reservoir
yes, sir.
separately. That's fine. What was the purpose of that truck wheels for water? Can you just explain that? I know it is sort of a model. What was your thought process there?
Sir, the robot part of this project.
Yeah. What is the purpose of the robot again?
Okay, sir. So basically, sir, I want to make a project which sort of goes to the user and tells him that I am here. You just have to click. You just have to interact with me. You don't have to go anywhere. You just interact with me, and I will do the work for you. I will turn the water motor off. So as the backup options, I provided the REST 3 ways, because the user may not be always at home or may not be able having the access to internet. So as the backend, at the very last option, the project itself shuts the water motor off. But as for the interaction purposes, firstly the robot will be deployed, the WhatsApp notifications will be sent, and accordingly the user will be given ample number of chances in order to interact with the project and turn it off.
Okay.
So, sir, that was
it is nice that you did a robot also for this.
Yes, sir.
I was just feeling that was a little out of out of
Yes,
place in the other
yes.
story that you have. Yeah, that's all
Yes.
from my side. Other judges, please go ahead.
Vishal,
Yes,
just
sir.
a question. See, today we have a lot of IoT devices,
Yes,
from
sir.
different brands. Okay. Me coming from such a brand, one of my questions is that,
Yes, sir.
there are a lot of new, IoT based water pumps
Yes, sir.
which is available today, and it already has the connected app and stuff like that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it has its own features of, notifying the customer that, the tank capacity is almost
Yes,
reaching.
sir. Yes,
You
sir.
can turn it off, or, turn it on. Or there's also
Sure,
schedules
sir.
wherein, every night you can just pump it for 15 minutes, and, the pump runs and the
Yes.
tank fills. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So just wanted to understand how, or
My project is
what is
different.
the difference,
Yes, sir.
from.
Yes, sir.
So
Sure, sir.
ideally, because to me, if you ask me, my phone is my best companion today. Okay.
Sure, sir. Yes, sir.
So someone roaming around and telling me that something is happening, I would
Yes, sir.
rather prefer my phone to tell me that, hey, the tank is about to be full.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Sir, okay.
what USP is? I mean, I just wanted to understand why this
Okay,
thought
sir.
process
Sure, sir.
altogether.
Sure, sir. Talking about all those existing solutions which are being here, so I want to clarify that they are only focusing on the user's water tank. You have not seen that they are just saying that we are just doing surveillance on the whole water supply chain. My major first initial step was to cover the entire water supply chain. By what you can see that I mean water supply chain for me is from the starting point to the end point. This is my point of interaction. I'm not just transferring everything. I'm ensuring that there is a constant flow of current, constant flow of water, and also ensuring that there is no sort of water wastage from starting to the end point. So that's why my project is unique, and all of the stuff which measures this are only referred to the home tank. But I will be monitoring the entire water supply chain. And also, sir, I want to clarify that the solutions which you talked about, say I want to pump the water motor for 15 minutes. Also, there were no technology as of now, which I know that which tells that after how much time the water motor will be filled. So basically, I use the water flow sensor, and I have converted the distance of IR sensor into the volume which has to be filled. So that is one of the unique points, because my project is sort of telling you that after 947 point itna seconds you will get the water motor filled. So that is how my project is unique. And also, sir, talking about the robot, so say I am the owner, I have installed it in my room, I am out of my town, I'm out of my home, and I am not having my phone. So first of all, as it is an IoT device, say at any point of time I can have the my internet connection, but sir, the robot will be carrying its own capacity sensor, so that it will always be there for you to help. So I can't be online every time and I can't have access to the phone, but the robot will sort of interact with any of the person which is residing in the house, and that person can itself control the project. So it doesn't interact with sort of the owner, it just interacts with the user's home. So anyone in the user's home can just turn the water motor off, and the robot sort of gives interesting twist in this project, so that the user or the future users which will be using, so they sort of become keen to use what is being happening at the backend. Also, some my project.
Vishal, we are really running out of time.
Okay,
you have
sure,
to
sir,
please
sure,
limit
sir.
your answers to a few
Okay,
seconds.
sir. Okay.
Yeah. Other questions?
So I have two questions, Vishal.
Okay, sir.
I mean, just give me pointed answers. One thing is, how much does all these things cost?
Okay, sir.
Like,
Okay, sir.
what is your average estimate if you have to create a product, a box,
Yes,
or
sir.
this?
Yes,
What
sir.
do you think is an average cost?
Okay, sir. Sir, as if it must be the user. If the user is only interested in the personal setting, then this project will cost around 3,500 to 4,000. Even if the user can opt in for the robot and not, because other notification will be sent. So the robot also, if I'm not using the robot, then it will cut down to 2,500 to 2,000 rupees, sir. And
Sure.
And sir, talking about the community setting, it
No,
will
Vishal, I think we have to give concise answers. Let's move on to the next
2,000
question.
to 4,000 rupees.
Yes, sir.
Idea
For commercial setting,
average water bill in a household? Do you have
sir,
any
average water, say for a medium size family, sir, it will range around, sir, 800 to 1,000 rupees in a month.
No. Average water bill.
After using or before using this project?
Average water bill in a household, like.
Okay, sir. Okay, how much water they consume?
Usually it is about like
the higher side, what you mentioned, anyway. Yeah.
50-80 rupees or something. Like
Yeah.
that. What
Yes,
I
sir.
To the max, $200.
Yes,
If you
Yeah. So this is one area where you have to look at.
Yes, sir.
Because
Sure, sir.
somebody is using only for 200, even if they have some excess wastage here and there, you are probably talking 10-15 rupees change, right?
Yes, sir.
For the saving the 20 rupees, will somebody spend 4,000? Though all that, climate, ecological.
Yes, sir. Okay. So that's for the personal setting, but if it has to be installed by government body or commercial setting for a dial of 10 kilometer, it will cost around 15 to 20,000.
That was my second question. So at an industrial scale, there are already very good solutions, which Srikanth mentioned. So this project feasibility is something you will have to work on. But on the positive side, I see you have done a lot of things in the last, say, 24 or 48 hours. So I'm pretty sure you have worked on a lot of these things previously. Like there is no way you would have started with a Twilio integration in 24 hours. So you have
hardware sketches have been made, sir, previously, because I have been testing on them on online simulators in order to get the hardware setup right.
Sure. So is the code, like say I saw one voice activation and all, is the code, like where did you get the code for that?
No, sir, every bit of the code I have written myself, sir. I have not copied it from
Have you worked on this earlier?
No, sir. As I've said earlier, only the schematics and the hardware implementations have been tested online on an online simulator in order to verify that they will be run after integrating all the hardware parts. That's all, sir. Because I've used Integromat, so I just have to make a scenario like in IFTT. Similar is being done in Integromat, so that is why Twilio integration can done in quick succession, sir. That is how I'm able to make. Yes, sir.
Balesh, shall we go to Nalesh now?
Yes.
Time constraint. Yeah, Nalesh sir, any questions?
Yeah. I think most of my queries have also been asked. Just Vishal,
Yes,
so
sir.
you mentioned a very big number of the liters of water wasted.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
what do you think? How much percentage of water is wasted by just tank filling? You just
Yes, sir. Sir,
do you
I
have
have
any idea?
just
Or
you
is
will
there
just
some another major reason for water wastage?
yes, sir. So basically, first of all, major problem is that the government organizations and so there is a huge gap between water conservation in urban area and in a village area. So basically, that
No,
is
no.
one
I
of
just
the
asked a
reasons.
very specific question. Can you answer it very specifically?
Yes,
Means
sir.
is
Sir, 2%,
water tank
2% of
overflowing?
unfilled.
The 2%. So what will be a there is another major, I think, broken connections and leakages
Yes,
are, I
sir.
think, a major.
Yes, sir.
Just trying to. Other questions are, yeah. You have, as Balesh has mentioned, you have done a tremendous amount of work over the last 24 hours.
Yes, sir.
That's appreciated. But the solution, you just have to look at it. Is this really the solution for
Okay,
what
sir.
problem
Okay.
you're in?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
Vishal.
thank you, Vishal. I think you
Thank you
can
very much,
drop
sir.
off. We'll go to the next team. I think
Sure,
that
sir.
is XDev. XDev, can you share the screen and go forward?
Okay, so I will just share my screen.
Yeah. You're starting at
Biju,
2:36.
yeah, Biju, just one query. How big is that? How many members are there in a team? Okay,
It's not a fixed number. I
six.
think
We are a team of 4
2 to
members.
4. Yeah.
We are a team
Okay,
of 4 members.
thank you.
You can start.
This is XDev, right?
Yes.
Yes, XDev.
Good afternoon, all. We are Team Esther from Government Engineering College, Thrissur. As we know, developers around the world are trying to find solutions to many age-old problems using blockchain. Here, we present to you one such solution. Let's get started. Here, we developed a blockchain solution evidence management system to prevent manipulation in Indian courts. The court is forced to trust middle parties handling the process of approval of submission of evidence. Now, talking about our inspiration, here are some of the examples. This example include the Bilkis Bano case, in which policemen and doctors were found guilty of tampering with evidence. These are some of the examples in which tampering of evidence was found out. There are innumerable cases in which many innocent people's lives are sealed, many criminals walking out freely, and many people being denied justice. So, we are trying to alleviate the problem traditional chain of custody has. So, now let's move on to the project overview part. A project mainly has three features: creating a case, uploading evidence, and getting evidence details. The functions like registering a case and getting evidence details are made public just for the prototype stage and for testing purposes. These functions will be only available to authorized persons in the future. Now, these are the technologies used. For implementation purpose, we used Ethereum smart contracts. For front-end part, we used React. And for decentralized storage, we used IPFS. And for deployment, we used Polygon. Now, this is a business model in which each person pays the gas fee, a small amount of commission is charged. Now, invite Harshu PM to show the demonstration of a project.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay,
Yes.
so basically in this prototype stage, they implemented three functionalities. One is to register a case, and the other one is to submit evidence. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
please go ahead.
Okay. So the next one is to submit evidence, and the third one is to get the evidences of a case. So we have made all these three functions public only in this prototype stage. And in the real world, only the first function, registering a case, and the third function, getting evidences of a case, will be available for the authorized persons, and the submitting evidence feature will be available only for the public. And let me just show you how to register a case, which will be done by the authorized officials. So they can register a case by filling the simple form, and I'll give a demo code ID. and the case description, case with the start date. I'll register a case now. So I have my MetaMask notification coming, and I'll have to confirm it. I'll confirm it. So yeah, that's it. I think my yeah, I've got a notification saying that I have registered the case with case ID 10. So I've got a case ID which is 10, and I'll have to upload the evidences against this case ID. So for doing that, I'll just fill up this form which is submitting an evidence. So I'll have to give the case ID as 10, and I'll give the evidence file. I'll just upload a demo file. I'll give the date at which the evidence was collected and let it be 11. So, and I'll give the description of the evidence. Let it be evidence. So I am submitting the evidence right now. So I'll have a MetaMask notification. Okay, I'll confirm it. Now that I have uploaded a file against this case number. So here we use IPFS technology, which is a distributed system for storing this evidence. So this will be stored against this case number, which we have got in the earlier stage, which is registering a case. So now the officials can get the evidences of a case using the third feature, which is get the evidences of a case. So I'll have to enter the case ID 10, and I'll get the evidences of that case. Yeah, this is the evidence that I have uploaded right now. So to encourage people to submit whatever the small evidences that they have, we have implemented a feature of tipping the evidences. So the officials can tip 0.1 matic to evidences if they found the evidence is highly important to that case. So that's all about the demo purpose, and yeah, that's it. Over to you, Rosemary.
Now, on a concluding note, if we fail to correct this systematic problem within our criminal justice system, we will all suffer the loss of many hardworking, honest, and falsely accused people who might have been excellent police officers or the next great doctor, lawyer, researcher, or inventor. We simply can't afford not to change. And blockchain in the supply chain of evidence is a change we need to implement. So, our, our application Curia is a necessity. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for the presentation. So I'll probably start with the questions and other judges can follow. So, it's good that you're putting in blockchain, and, it's a good opportunity to learn using it. But, one of the key reasons of using blockchain is that it brings trust, right? But when you are giving a case tip, wouldn't you want to remain anonymous? Wouldn't having a record be counterproductive?
Yes, actually, we understand the concern, but regarding the authenticity of the evidences uploaded against a case, these evidences are available to the authorized officials, like the respective investigation officer. And in the current system, that's what happens. So all we can do is providing all these evidences to the investigating officer, and he or she has the right to um, investigate into the authenticity of the evidence.
Okay. And let's say you were to not use blockchain, do you have something else in mind?
We can use a common database, but that wouldn't serve the purpose, I think so, because that can be manipulated by anyone. So I don't think using a common database or a simple web application would do the purpose. Basically, we are trying to solve a problem of tampering of evidences in courts. So we'll be needing
Okay.
to use
Good
blockchain.
argument. Yeah. Others, please go ahead.
Yeah, Hashir, just wanted to understand, have you studied the current, system of, recording these things in the current system? I think, the entire police force is also using a, computerized system now. All their FIR, everything is on a computerized platform.
Yeah.
Have you studied the existing, system?
Okay, currently the investigating officer can collect the evidences, but this becomes highly influential when a group of evidences is to be collected from the public in case of a case. So basically, for an example, if there is a manipulation of money in a bank, and all those account holders of the bank has an evidence to be submitted against the case, so it becomes very difficult for the investigating officer to go to each account holder and get the evidences of that case. So they can just file a case, and all those who have whatever the small evidences they have can be uploaded against the case, and uh, ensure that the justice is served in the courts.
Okay.
Okay. So, good idea, Hashir. I have quick question. Why did you choose this specific platform, IPFS? Any reason? Like,
Okay.
usually we are Filecoin or something else, right?
Okay. We are basically beginners to blockchain. So while we study regarding how to use decentralized storage system, it was the easiest one was IPFS that we have found, and it was since it was a 24-hour hackathon, we couldn't
And
learn Filecoin and how to use it. So that's
okay.
it.
Have you okay? So then it will not be relevant for me asking. Like, say, have you tested something like what is the storage system, how much it can store, or like what is the speed of transactions? You wouldn't have gone through those things, right?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
To be frank, we haven't.
No. Okay. So other than that, I don't see any other major issues from a problem and a solution perspective. But being in the right network is very crucial for blockchain projects. Yeah.
So how much will be the cost of deployment of this? Do you have any?
It will be around, it depends actually. It will be around, since we have deployed it in Polygon, it will be around 0 point something, 0.02 or 3 matic only. So that's the ultimate reason why we have deployed in Polygon, since if we use Ethereum.
So will it scale up also with the same price, means same cost? What I mean to say is, like when you deploy it for, let's say, Kerala Police Department, you are dealing with, as Balesh was mentioning, you're looking at a large amount of cases and evidences. So will the pricing be the same? Do you have any idea?
I hope the pricing will be same, because when we write to the blockchain, it is a user who pays the gas fee. So I don't think initially cost will be just around 0.04 or 0.05 matic to be rough on a rough scale.
So that is some 5-10 rupees. You have to remember that we are talking about 10 rupees per transaction in a
No.
Mongo.
I'm talking about the initial this deployment part. So when we write to the blockchain, it's, we have tested, it is around 0.003, which is around 100 rupees or something, and 0.00004. Yeah, that's it. 0.004. It is a transaction fee that currently we used to pay. So I think that's not a big deal.
Maybe I'll help you out here. So Dr. Nalish, basically what you can do is for these problems we'll never use such networks, because government already has.
Correct. Yeah, that was my understood.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. They wouldn't have guessed it. Right? I was also trying to see if they knew about that. They have to use different peers.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all. That's all from us.
The costing will not work for police. It's very expensive if you go for open Polygon, Matic, and all.
Yeah, just to show a demonstration, we have used a Polygon. I think we have many other options to look into, and we'll be using it in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, obviously, you can demonstrate it using such open sources platforms, but probably when you address issues, problems like this, you should also be aware of the actual deployment. Presenting is a solution for this particular. Okay, thank you.
Fine.
Okay. I think we can move to the next team. Which one is it? Nothing. Okay. SCDAO.h. Okay.
Can we leave?
Yeah, you guys can leave.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So shall we start?
Yeah, go ahead. Just identify your team while introducing yourself.
Okay. Mohammed, please present your screen. Okay. From the first slide, please. Okay. So on behalf of my team, SCDIO.H, I, Almir Asif Khan, is here. And my other teammates are Ashad Matthew Shaji, Mohammed, and Fatima Nuha. So I'm here to present to you our idea, which is an app which we named You because we prioritize you here. It is an app that will improve mindfulness. So we bring our focus to mental health of the younger sections of our society, starting from an early age itself, ranging to teenage. Children go through a lot, and in most of the cases, these problems go unidentified. Institutions are trying to find a solution, a way to help their students to give a more positive outlook to life, but they are not properly able to. So here's where our app You comes in. I introduce you to our app. Let's see. So problem statement. Most of the people who face mental health disorders issues are reluctant to open about their mental state. People going through depression and other mental disorders require distractions in the form of some fun activities. More than hearing out their problems and finding a solution to that problems, sometimes they just need an distraction or some fun activities to engage. So this is what our app basically is about. Next slide. So let's move on to the features of our app. Unlike other apps, here we don't force you to open up about your problems, but channelize your inner self, your energy, to do something more productive, motivating, and engaging. This is because people going through these problems won't always feel like opening about their problems. That is, we don't present a cure-based model here, but we focus on distracting the users for a good cause. We also track user interests and show blogs, musics, and other feed based on that. For example, a person who gets excited while a new technology advancement happens will be shown news or news articles, blogs related to that. Also, here we have a section where you can write blogs, which is a very good method to express yourself. It is always said that writing down your feelings on a paper will relieve you, and here you can do it anonymously, which is a perk of this app. The next feature of this app is a reward system. Reward system for the tiniest progress that you make here. What are these progress for? We provide you with tasks, interesting tasks, which is purely based on what interests you, which on completion we provide you with rewards. You achieve another milestone and you get a Zomato voucher, which really helps. Interesting, right? So that's what reward system means. And as I told you, I had mentioned about blogs. There are also music, which is a really good calming method, and games that are stress relieving, which do not tire an already anxious mind, but increase a win streak. For this, we can use boards. Yeah, that's the features of the app. So going to the next slide. So who are these users? We mainly focus on students of all age groups through institutions. We we focus on B2B model, that is business to business model, under which we collaborate with institutions who like to provide a support system for their students to improve their mental health. Institutions can provide login to students on our app, and a subscription-based model with initial trial period will be made available to them. There is also facility for individual users to log in based on the same model. Next slide, please. So let's see the already present apps and other facilities in this field. Offline counseling is the most go-to approach, but offline counseling needs physical presence of a person. What if a person is very has a very tight packed schedule, so he cannot be physically present at that state? So that's a con of that offline counseling, and it's also time consuming and expensive, as we all know. There are also similar apps in this field which are purely based on cure based model. They hear to our problems, they just find a solution to it, which at times people cannot do. People going through mental problems cannot do that. And also not all features are available in these apps, and they may not be based on a personalized data, but on a general basis. Coming to UApp, UApp analyzes users' interest, and it has a unique reward system. That's what. Coming to the uniqueness of our app, if we consider competition, our app has advanced and user friendly is advanced and user friendly than the competitors. As I said before, there is a reward system, and we do not show ads for financial benefits. And going to financial uniqueness, we follow a B2B model, that is business to business model, in which we focus on, as I said before, the institutions. And to sum up everything, this app is a single platform with multiple features, which is the technical uniqueness of it. Going to the next slide. Thank you. So there are similar apps, as I told, there are similar apps, but these are just the solution or a cure to their problems. On the other hand, we in a way distract users to do something new, something different that makes them happy. So that's what our app is about. So let me conclude. It's a simple tool that might help you regain some control about how you feel and how you think. Thank you. And now, this is a simple flowchart on how our app works. Hope you can see it. Now moving on. So that's all about. Any questions?
Is there a demo of the app?
Yeah, we have prototype UI.
Is that something you can show in emulator?
Yes.
Can you just skip through few screens?
Yeah. Hope it's visible now.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the home page. Next, please.
Did you implement the login?
Yeah, there are two types of login, one for personal uses and the other institutional login is provided.
Did you integrate some notifications?
No, we are working on that.
Any analytics in this? Any different patients or persons?
No, sir.
Okay, that's all. Over to Balish, Nalesh, and Sriram.
Yeah, I was just like Bijoy, I was curious to see that app. Can you please take us back to the second slide that you are presenting on the features of that app? The page where you said that incentivization and stuff, reward points and stuff. Yep. Yeah. Just wanted to understand, the how is that track user interests and the last point, music, games, and blogs related. I mean, what's the logic?
So basically, first of all, whenever a user tries to sign in, or whenever a user signs in into our app, we are asking for their interest, and these interests we store that, and based on these interests they selected, maybe some articles or like something related to these, whatever interest they selected, it's been displayed to them through the app. Also, we also have a like daily task scheduling system. In this system, like a person who is not okay or whose mental state is not okay may not be willing to do tasks like maybe sometimes maybe he's a good writer but he's not in a good mood to write. So we need to distract him, we need to engage him. If a user completes this task, we provide them rewards. So yeah, we provide them a different interest or a different stack to learn. I make it clear?
Yeah, I got it. Just wanted to understand one thing. See,
Yeah.
you might have already seen apps like, Healthify Me and stuff like
Yeah.
that, right? I usually consume more than 500, calories and just put 300 calories just to see on screen that, hey, Srikanth, you did great. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to understand, see how that recording of interests are put into a, algorithm, and how is it, encouraging this particular person. Say, suppose if he's an introvert, he doesn't want to speak to anybody. Will your app, do something to, change that attitude of that person? Like, go speak to 10 people today and update what you learned from them, kind of. Uh, i- is there an activity, or is there a correlation
No,
that you have
sir, we
already built?
don't have an activity like that because if a person is not interested, we can't force them to do it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You can influence that. My point is, someone who is introvert, who doesn't want to, you're making him cling to his phone more by doing this, right?
Yeah,
Like, at all moving and, going and speak to someone else. I just felt that, this there's no bias, just, personal,
yes, sir.
view that makes person dependent into the, app more, rather than, know promoting, across state that
Yes,
he's in.
sir. We
Just a personal view. Okay.
yeah, sir. But we are the fact that if we started this idea, we had an idea that we include volunteers, people who are willing to listen to these people, and people who are willing. And then we thought like, if suppose that I am a person who is affected,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, I'm just first I might have spoken to one person, and then I'm again speaking what speaking out my mind to another person, again repeating my thoughts, again repeating my thoughts. I don't think that I might be comfortable with that. So so that's why we excluded, like we removed the volunteer part from our app. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm done.
I don't have any questions. This is an area which I'm not aware of much. Maybe I can ask one question, like what prompted you to, like what, how did this idea come up? Like usually, this is all a psychologist's idea in the first place. Or like what is the background research behind this?
It is basically because during this time there is a large increase in the cases, and according to the research we did or we found on internet, of course, we found that almost 6.5%, at least that much, Indian society, that is Indian population, is going through some kind of a mental disorder, according to
The
WHO.
problem is relevant, but is this the solution? Like, say you're creating a
So we tried to implement
interest.
a technology-based solution to this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like, for example,
recently,
if you see a person is in a mental problem because of his interests, which could be smoking.
Exactly. That was the point which I also wanted to emboss, Balesh.
Huh. Like you cannot change if a person is already into say some smoking and drinking. You cannot go and enable it more, right? So these are issues which needs cure and medicine. You cannot do a job of a doctor and a psychiatrist using an app. What Healthify and all do are more of a kind of a different way of it's a completely different I would say ecosystem or a problem which they are addressing. So I'm not able to understand actually the problem and the solution from an app point of view, but maybe again that could be my ignorance.
Yeah.
They will mean a complete.
Yeah.
Yeah, Almira, just to add to that, probably
Yes,
you can have a look at. Actually, I understand what you're trying to do. So there is something like a Reddit vulnerable mental health support groups, which has been studied to have shown lots of support during the pandemic. So probably Balesh also maybe just can have a look. They are trying to do something similar. Obviously, it is not those who need cure obviously need cure, and those who are addicted to mobile cannot be like they cannot be rewarded by the app. Srikanth's point is also correct. What I didn't understand is how this reward, like how are you, what sort of algorithms you are going to have for the reward. Have you given any thought process on that? Like how are
Based
you
on
going to reward and
the personalized interest. Hello.
yes, continue.
Based on the personalized interest from
Based on the personalized interest,
personalized data from the Google, or we are sorting their interest
how exactly are
and
going to reward
giving
someone?
them a stack to learn, or based on the stack,
Okay,
because
task to learn then.
if we give a task to learn and engage some interesting activities, like giving a board type game, because a depressed person
No, can you give an example of a reward system?
wants to be happy because they want to win.
Yeah, I think those areas, probably you have the ideas, but yeah, on the implementation side or how to exactly do it, obviously you need some support from trained psychologists or psychiatrists. All those are required, and even the reward system. I don't think you have given much thought, probably, but the idea. I understood. Thank you.
Okay, I think we have to end now. Thank you. You guys can drop off and we'll have the next team.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yeah, so to the judges, the next team is puzzles. This is in the Hack for CUSAT category, so it's a separate from the regular hackathon. So trying to solve a problem in CUSAT for CUSAT students only. So someone from puzzles teams, they want to share the screen and get started, please go ahead.
Okay, sir.
I would request the previous team to stop screen sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, your time starts now.
Okay. So good afternoon to all the judges present here. So we are team puzzles. So basically our idea is a to and learning campaign for all the students. So the idea behind this is that even though students go to college and stuff, each student has different capability to learn. Even though the teachers try to accommodate all the types of students, the ability to learn or the ability to grasp different kinds of topics is actually different type. So due to these scenarios, especially during exam seasons, or if we go to some competitions, hackathons, we might miss classes. In these scenarios, what the students do is like they try to go for private tuitions. Even in near Kusat itself, we have Gurukula. They do really good tuition and stuff, but they cost around 700 rupees per module we have to give them. So in all these cases, it's kind of expensive for the students to afford, because like there are 6 subjects per semester with 4 modules each, and in total it becomes a huge amount. So what we are proposing is, with the next page. So what we are proposing is a tutoring system where the students itself become the tutors. So how it happens is that if you just go into the app and just click the first one, tutoring. So if you go into the app and if you click tutor, you can search for different subjects. If, for example, if I am really proficient in control system, I can enroll as a tutor. And how it works is that if I am proficient, I have to submit my subject CGPA. Maybe I might not be expert in other subjects, but I'm really proficient in control systems. Imagine that. If I just have to submit my subject CGPA and I have to do a small test provided by this app, if I can qualify that, I can enroll myself as a tutor in this. And how it works is that per module, fixed rate would be there. For first year, it would be fixed rate, second year, third year, based on that fixed rate for per module. And the student, for example, it can be 200 rupees per module for the first year students, like that. So fixed rate. So for affordable rate, the students can enroll. And how it works is that after, for example, if I take the subject control system, there are multiple tutors who might have enrolled for control system. And how it works is that we initially said, now we will take the CGP and everything, but none of that is actually being displayed to students. How it works is that there will be a rating system in this. In this rating system, like this rating that you can see in the app is actually based on the reviews that the students give, the students who attend your particular class. So based on that, you get a review. So there will be a competition among the tutors instead of to improve the quality of learning, because obviously if you see a list of tutors, you'll only select the most highly rated one, right? So there is a friendly competition among the tutors to pick the one, and based on that you can see the performance and the reviews of other students who have given review to that particular tutor, and based on that you select the tutor. And after that, if you can book an appointment, and during the appointment session itself, we actually ask from students, we actually ask the payment in advance. We as the app hold the amount, and after the class is done, we hand it over the tutor. So we actually work as a middleman also for the transaction, so that both the parties do not get cheated. And right now you might be thinking like, this is a good idea, but how do you attract students? So in that aspect, what we installed is like notes. So right now, from the students perspective, what we saw is that when the exams comes and whenever you want to study, we actually look for seniors drive. I would have created some Google Drive where we get notes, and even our drives are being used by our juniors. So we thought of compiling all that into a simple platform where the students can get the notes for totally for free. And as an incentive, if you upload a particular note, you can earn points, which you can redeem via getting free tutors from the app itself. So you can get the notes, and through that, it will be helpful. If the students just want to use the notes, they can do so, and they'll earn points. If they have any particular good notes, they can upload it and they can earn points. Like that aspect is also there. So, and as the business model for this, what we thought of doing is that we're planning to take a 10% commission from the tutors. We do not want to extort anybody, just to maintain it. We thought thinking of asking for 10% from the tutors and as we move forward, if the foot traffic into the ad, if the traffic into the app is more, we can actually gradually reduce the like the commission from the tutors, but initially 10%. And from our perspective, we know that actually the cost will be just in the initial stages. If we intake after the tutors, rest of the activities and rest of the working maintenance would be comparatively less compared to the initial setup. So if we can, only the main costs and the main headache would be in the intaking of the tutors and stuff like that. So this is the basic idea behind that. The motivation behind this, initially we just thought of doing some idea for the hackathon, but after we started making it, this is something actually we itself are looking for, because like going to private tuitions like becoming really expensive. So you actually want to empower the students can also earn some small amount of 200 rupees, and for the tutor will get a small 200 amount. As a student, I can get a good one-on-one teaching from one of my seniors for an affordable rate. So right now we are also looking forward to implementing this, because we itself want to use this to learn more. So this is basically what we are trying to implement, sir.
Okay. So Vasant, there are quite a bit of tutoring apps and peer learning and peer sharing apps, right? So how will you say your app stands out?
because like initially I forgot to say this, like all the access to the app is only based on the university email ID. Only students who have university email ID get into that. So we want to empower the students. Like for example, as you said, there are Check, there are Study Pool, there are many apps, and those actually are expensive compared to this. Like the best tuition that I personally know is the personal one. That is Gurukulam in our Ambadikavar. So that there itself they ask for 700 rupees per module. So here, like for that is done by professional people. Professional people need a huge significant amount to make it sustainable. But we as a student, if we can get some nominal amount of 200, 300, that itself is like a huge amount for a tutor. And for the student's perspective, that is an affordable amount. So that is there. And only the both the tutor and the students only will be from CUSAT itself, because university email ID verification would be there. Only students having that can get access to this.
Okay, I'll leave it to other judges.
Very interesting idea. I could see the passion in his voice. But Vijay, he is trying to take away your job.
No,
exactly, that's what I was also thinking.
Of course, we need teachers. There's an additive help to that. That's it.
But very interesting way of seeing this. I mean, it might have made sense 2 years back, but with classes, online classes all going away and like offline, you're basically trying to, you did use the word extort. You're trying to extort money out of something which we used to do during our lunch break. And this is what, classroom students are supposed to do. Combine study and, learn or teach each other, not getting paid for that in between. So,
what you said is true, sir. Like,
I have an ethical and moral dilemma in this entire solution.
Could I say something, sir? Like, I actually feel what you're trying to say, sir. Like, we actually do teach our friends in lunch break and stuff. That is there. But even though that is there, still people go for private tuition. We are just pitching as an alternative to private tuitions. That helping friends that we still do, even if this is there or not, we don't do. But as to private tuition, just one-on-one mentoring. If we are helping a friend, we might all be able to help our friend circle of somebody we might know. Yeah. But a larger audience, we want to help.
I have app for that. It's like hardly 40 people or 60 people in a class. So you're talking about a group which is like so well known to all of you over a period of like 3 years, 4 years. Why do you need an app for that in between? Well, it would have made sense 2 years back. But in the
online scenarios, you can, like, if you can simply put a meet, but we want to make it one-on-one tutoring, because sometimes, for example, like I have hard time with engineering mechanics. I had very hard time, so I had to go to Gurukulam to get that one-on-one mentoring, because how much my friends helped me, I could not understand it. I needed somebody to help me understand how the diagram works and stuff. And there is a limitation to how it can help you. So most people do go for private tuitions. And we might miss classes due to competitions, Dishna, TechFest, and everything. That aspect also.
So the question from Balish was different. There are very few students. You see, the number of students are limited, so you should be getting all this information word by word of mouth, right? Do you need an app? I think that was what Balish was asking.
Yes.
Like, I think it is like what you're saying about the limitation to the number of students, right?
You are aggregate. So this is where the business model also fails. You will not get your 10%, right? Because the moment you are all in the same class, everybody knows everybody. So it's not like an Urban Clap or a Swiggy where you are even aggregating unknown parties.
But there are like 3 years of juniors. There are passers who have failed. Take please.
Only one student has to log in and understand who is the top rated tutor, and then everyone else will go there, right?
Yeah, so that we thought. So that's why we actually want to make the commission less than 5%, to be honest, and more focus on the ad, because as you said, we did not increase it much the commission, because if you can meet a person via the tutor via the app, they might meet individually without the app itself. So that aspect is there. But if you can provide,
okay, yes, how much of this?
So we are actually that more on the co-ideation.
Yeah, I
think they just have
no harm in actually giving it a week or 2 weeks and just running a pilot in your class.
Yes, sir. But,
I think Srikanth Yeah, Srikanth has dropped, so I think I'll fill in for him. So, any other questions, Balish or Nalesh?
No, but I really like their theme screens and all that. So, from a UI UX perspective, very good job.
Great. Okay, I think we can move to the next team. Thank you, Team Puzzles. The next team will be.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, we'll return to the regular competition now. I think Codex is the next team. If the people from Codex are already here, they can share the screen and get started. Okay, someone has to unmute and start. I think I'm told that the team has ended the meeting. As of now, you're not audible.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yeah. Please share the screen and get started.
Yeah, okay.
Just a minute. I'll share the screen now.
Yeah.
Okay, it is visible. You can get started.
Okay, then I hope it's visible to everyone.
Yes, go ahead.
So our project is an automated IoT-based horticulture system, and we are a team of 4 members, and we have decided to choose this as our idea. Next slide, please. Yeah, so now we've figured out a couple of problem statements that adheres to what we'll be facing and how we overcome this. So now let's see why horticulture has the upper side over agriculture. First one is in horticulture farming, each plant is assessed individually. So each plant is given the right amount of nutrition, the amount of sunlight, the amount of water. Whereas in agriculture, there might be lack of manual labor, or there might be a loss of nutrients or fertilizer. The second one is, since agriculture is more open to the environment, it's affected and is more easily taken over by natural calamities such as floods, droughts, famines. This can affect entire plots of lands. Since horticulture is in a closed environment, none of this can happen, because in a closed environment, everything is provided to it for its own care, and no such risk is no such risk happens. The third one is plant diseases. In agriculture, like in large plots of lands, if one crop is affected, the entire land has a high chance of being affected by the disease. In horticulture, if one is affected, we can weed it out, and then the rest can live normally. So now to tackle all these problems, we have created an IoT-based monitoring system that will keep you noted in real time about what's happening to the plant. Next slide, please. So now let's go back to the basic fundamentals. What is horticulture? Now, horticulture is not so different from agriculture. It's basically the art of cultivating or growing food crops or ornamental plants on a small scale division in a controlled environment. In agriculture, the one main issue is that if one crop is affected, the entire plot can be affected. Horticulture avoids all of that. Next slide, please. Now, I want to move on to the future of horticulture. Now, horticulture has a lot of untapped potential. Recently, even the ISS has taken to growing plants using horticulture above the International Space Station, and they've been using this as a food source. So now, even though horticulture might seem small, humans are taking big steps in this field, and now even in the field of space exploration. Another notable field of application is human colonization. Now there are efforts to colonize Mars, and
Alush,
Mars
I should remind you that half the time is over. I think you should get to the project rather than the motivation.
Yeah, sure. So I'll describe our project. Our project is basically using an Arduino board and an ESP32 board too, and we use two detectors, a moisture detector and a light detector. So there are threshold values set for these two detectors. When a light falls below this threshold value, the light detector senses this and turns on an LED to be used as a light source for the plants. A moisture sensor has a threshold value. When the water content in the soil falls below a certain value, a pump is turned on and supplies water to the soil. Now, we also created a simple website to facilitate real-time information between the user and the plant. So in simple words, our project is a device that automates horticulture farming. Next, please. Now, our target audience are people who have a very hectic lifestyle and those who have very little to no time to take care of their plants. So we have made technology that does it for you. And also for plant admirers who have very little time to take care of them, or to people who like to research in botanical fields. Next, please. Why choose us? Because it's simple, has a simple UI, and all it does is automate horticulture for you without the need for human manpower. And it's perfect for people with busy lifestyles and hectic schedules. It monitors each and every plant in an efficient manner according to each and every need. And it's also very cheap. The technology stacks we used are Arduino Uno board, ESP32 board, a moisture sensor, an LDR, an LED, a submersible pump. And the software we used are Python, HTML, and CSS to write the codes and to create the website. Next, please.
Just a minute, I'll be playing a video right now. Just a minute, a very short video.
Yeah. So now we're going to see the working of our project, how it works in its most basic sense. So here we've been using an Arduino, and since we're hosting a local server, we haven't used an ESP, we're using serial communication. So just have a quick look at it. There you go, that's our moisture sensor, a submersible pump. Now notice when the moisture detector is removed from the soil. Yeah, the feedback circuit automatically initiates this pump to pump out water for the soil. And that's our simple project. So we have come to an end of our presentation, and if there are any questions or queries you'd like to know, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, Alush, nice that you have put in a video so that we can get to see how much was implemented. In the Arduino board, you have put a sketch program where it is detecting from the sensor and sending a signal for the pump to work. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any software built on monitoring this at the moment or not yet?
We have built it using Python. I think Aditya can explain it better. Aditya Biju, please.
We use C++. Arduino uses C++. That monitors the moisture value and all.
Okay, so it is mostly Arduino based programs.
We've created a website for it, so that the user can interact with it using a Python, HTML,
How are
and
you
CSS.
communicating to the website from the board?
Yeah, actually we're supposed to upload the website to the internet and use the ESP32 for communicating with it. But since we couldn't host it in the internet, we have used serial communication to get the values from the sensors to the Arduino, and by hosting a local server, we can send these
Is that
values
something
which
you
we
have done right now? Can you screen share and show it?
Yeah, that's a small problem. Like we got the values, but then it's not being displayed. That's
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
Do we need the website or?
No, that's okay. Let's move on. Balesh and Malesh, go ahead.
Thank you, Vijay, and good job, guys. Alosh, Abhinand, Biju. In 24 hours, getting this done looks good. I have a very simple question for your simple project. With one Arduino board, you are controlling right now one pump and only one channel. Is it possible for you to control I will not say an entire farm. What about say 20 pots? If there are 20 pots with one Arduino board, will you be able to control it?
Yes, sir.
How will you do it?
Using bigger boards such as the Arduino Mega, which has more analog inputs and as well as digital outputs.
No, but then I mean mentally visualize like there are 20 pots with 20 sensors. So do you need a larger Arduino board then?
Larger Arduino, yes, sir.
Okay. So if there are 20 inputs, you will need a larger Arduino.
Yes.
Can you just, why don't you work with something cost effective like just small valves, one single motor, one single Arduino, 20 different sensors, and you will just pump water to whichever pot requests. Is that possible? Do you think theoretically it is possible?
But then we'll have to have multiple pumps, right? Like because each plant will have different moisture levels and all that stuff.
You just need to control valves. You can have small valves. You don't need pumps. Pump is one of the expensive pieces in your product.
Oh yes, sir. We could do that.
Okay.
Using valves and all.
Okay, so there you have it. Like if you can bring this entire product under, like say $10, 750 rupees, you might actually have a good product at your hand.
Yeah, it is actually doable, and that's a nice idea. It's a great idea, in fact. Yeah. Thank you for suggesting that.
So that's
Yeah. So what do you think? How much is the feed time required for the moisture sensor to update? Means the pump was pumping water and the moisture sensor is giving the reading. How do you ensure that the water level is like, it can so happen that you pump a lot more water than you require, right? So what's the feedback time? How much time the moisture sensor will need to correctly update? So have you thought of that?
It would take around a second.
No, it will take around a second for moisture sensor to read the value. That I understood. But the pump, pumping out water, it going into the soil and the soil getting moist, and then the moisture sensor getting. So will that be a problem? I am just curious.
Yes, sir. There would be a slight lag.
Yeah. So probably you'll have to address that. Maybe you can come up with some nice solution. I mean, you don't have to probably keep the pipe near the moisture sensor, or I don't know, something like that. That's something which will be crucial here, because it shouldn't so happen that you pump more water and the plant get decayed. So that's one area which need to be looked at. And the next is as Balesh mentioned, the price is something which will be very crucial, because this might be a good one for something like a terrace garden in apartments, etc. you can project this as a solution for that area. But then the price will be, the cost aspect will be crucial.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wells,
Yeah.
Wells are currently in a prototype state, so its price may go up and down.
Yeah. No. I'm just trying to tell you that that is something which will be crucial and which something you should think also while uh, in this stage itself. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Ashwas.
Okay. Thank you, team. I think we can move to the next one.
Thank
Team
you.
name. Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next team, Hackbytes in the regular category. You can introduce yourself and share the screen.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the screen visible, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is our project. We call it as Audience Data Analytics. We are Team Hackbytes. Okay. So the problem statement we are addressing is that the existing approaches to know a user interaction or whether a user is active during a conference or a class session is only to recommend them to turn on the audio or video, or we can use chat system, right? So turning on video is not that scalable, because if the conference is of more than 100 people, monitoring all of them is very difficult, and we don't get any information about the large audience. Even if the audience is around 5,500 people, then there is no feedback from them. There is no clue that whether they are listening or they are active during the session. So our solution is that we will take the video stream locally only. That means we are not sending the video stream directly to the video call, so that turning on the video do not affect the bandwidth that is consumed. So this our solution will track the user video, will analyze the user video locally using a machine learning model and analyze the head movement and send the metrics that is necessary. Our project will work in real time with the video call session and report the data that is necessary to the host, and the host side we can visualize that data like a graphical form pie chart that will update in real time who and all are active during the session and all. So our work, how it's work is that we have the webcam that is locally accessing the video, and we will track the head movement and recognize whether the user is on the screen or user is not present, and send that data to host. Okay. So we have used React for the front end and TensorFlow for machine learning, and we have used Firebase for hosting and Flutter for implementing a simple Android app with WebView. Okay. So far we have completed the web app for the host and client interface that will work as mentioned with all the features, and also an Android application with the WebView. Okay, so we can go for the demo part. So this is the demo. We call it as Audience Data Analytics. We can create a meeting and join a meeting. So I am creating a new meeting now. So we will get a meeting code here. We can share that meeting code with our friends and they can join. So while the time they join, we can see that our head is tracking in real time. The camera feed is assisting both the video call and in our face tracking thing. For the debugging purposes, we are making this video stream available in face tracking thing. In actual case, this video tracking will be in background. So everyone has joined. So we can see everyone here. And we see that the total attendees is 3 and active participation is 3. That means everyone is looking into the screen and we are recognizing their faces. So if we hide out one of the faces, then it will recognize that and update the pie chart accordingly. Yes. Yeah. It is working in each client. Each person hiding their face will update this pie chart. So that's the demo part. So also we have implemented this web link with an web view in Flutter also, web app. Okay. So moving to the future scope, we can implement more features like analyzing the voice of the audio and creating a minutes of that. And we plan of business model like in 3 tiers. First tier will be we'll create a small Chrome extension to support necessary features that will be free for all. And there is a tier 2 that is a paid website with face tracking and response data. And third tier we will be planning to make an analyzing text and audio and creating minutes of the meeting and update that in database. So thank you. That's the end of the presentation.
So the demo was nice. Do you have I saw that there is a summary that is run in real time. So at the end of the recording, do you get a summary, emailed or a page where there is summary or something like that? Or is it only real time?
Yeah, as of now, we have implemented here only. It is possible that you can export this data in an email or a text format.
I'm seeing a Jitsi, hologram. So are you using their plugin?
Yeah, Jitsi is an open source video conferencing solution. We are embedding that service here so that we can facilitate this video stream.
Did you train the model yourself, or is it?
No, we are using BlazeNet for that. BlazeNet, Blazeface model, TensorFlow model for analyzing the face.
Others.
Actually, we don't have. We can optionally turn off the video in the demo here also, but this will be active during the session and report
so,
the analytics.
So let me understand it properly. So you are not planning to your application is such that users need not stream the video, but whoever is organizing will be able to track. Means to save bandwidth, you don't need to stream the video, but for tracking, it will. That's the application, right?
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting. Is there something similar available? Means, have you come across anything similar?
On the research, we have found that there are systems that will track the mouse point and will report whether the mouse point is active or not. But I don't think there is a face.
From the Chrome, you will have to access this website. Is it going to be like that?
Yeah. As of now, it's a website, but we can also implement it using a web extension, Chrome extension also.
Okay. Okay, that's all from my side. Anyway,
interesting project actually, and neatly implemented also.
Yeah.
So I don't have further questions. Like Dr. Nalesh already asked one of the questions which you answered, that there can be extensions to Zoom and Google.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, team. I think you can drop off. We'll have the next team. This is in the regular category, number 6 stoners.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Bijoy, the last team was
Hackbytes.
Hackbytes. Okay.
Hackbytes is the webcam one. Codex is the horticulture one.
Got it. Okay.
So we are now on stoners. If the team has joined, they can share the screen.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. I hope my screen is visible.
Go ahead.
Okay. Project is an Android application. So we are addressing a problem that we have right now. So even if most people want to dispose of their waste, they don't have a good enough method to do so. And they don't get anything in particular in return. So this application provides a platform that helps us to dispose waste in an environment friendly manner. And this is a Flutter-based application. It collects waste products, and we have different categories of waste products, and then we recycle it. And in this application itself, we provide a method to buy the recycled products. Okay. So the purpose of this app is that this app makes the collection of recyclable waste materials very easy. Right? Normally what we have seen in other apps, similar apps like this, is that we have to dispose of the waste at some particular locality. But in this app, we are introducing a feature of collect waste from the user. And also based on the quantity of waste that we are collecting, we pay them a fixed amount based on the quantity and the material. And apart from this, our app also sells the recycled products that are made from these waste materials at a nominal cost. That will be less than the actual price in the market. Okay, and another part we do is that like the e-waste that we are collecting, electronic waste. Okay, most of the e-waste will be recycled, and in the recycling process, the most of the e-waste will be circuit boards, hard disks, such stuff. Okay, so after recycling, we'll be getting the metal parts, and what we intend to do is that we sell these metal parts to the nearby industries, thereby getting a good source of income for our model. Okay, so benefits of this app is that we encourage the people to recycle waste materials since they are rewarded for their contribution. The collection and disposal of recycled materials ensures that the waste is managed properly. And we also sell the recycled products at a lower cost than the market price. So the people will be encouraged to buy the recycled products. And since we are, if our app goes on to a larger scale, the industries can buy a large amount of raw materials from us at a lower price. Okay, so the basic categories that we provide are paper, plastic, glass, e-waste, etc. Okay, now we'll go on to the project demo. Okay, Junster is our app name. So as we go in, first we go into the login page where we can give our email address. Okay, as soon as we log in, we are provided with two options. One is we have waste materials that are to be recycled, or we want to buy recycled products. Okay, so we'll go to first we'll go to be recycled. Okay, so going on to be recycled, we are provided with 4 categories of waste. At first we are given only 4 categories, even though there are more categories. We'll be going on to that later on. Okay, so basically, we'll go to the first category, that is paper waste. So in case you have a fixed amount of paper, okay, by weight, we calculate it by weight, and if you have say 2 kilograms of paper waste, we calculate the total amount that you will be receiving. And we will have a local agent that is partnering with us, who will be responsible for collecting these waste materials from your directly. Same goes for plastic. Product made from paper. E-waste is mainly.
Okay, so more or less, I'd say then you will be you're focusing on e-waste. So you are building an app which is a good aggregator for e-waste industry.
Yeah, but then overall, we'll also be promoting the recycled products too.
Okay. Got it. That's it from my side.
Is the e-waste recycling also your
Yeah, e-waste recycling is done by us, and we provide the materials to the industries.
So how do you have any idea how much is the, let's say, typical PCB, how much it takes, what's the price for recycling and how much you will get by selling it? Have you thought of?
The initial machinery cost will be really high, but I think in the long run it will be profitable for us.
Yeah, another thing it's the an app for collecting is fine, but the same app providing means recycled products. I don't know. I mean, somehow
Yeah,
I
like
can't
we have our local delivery agents at each locality, right? So the same agents are will be responsible for both collecting as well as delivering in that particular locality.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, fine.
Naveen, can you mention how much of the app development has been done so far?
App development, the front end is complete. Back end authentication, we were halfway there when we ran out of time.
Did you connect to a database?
No, we weren't able to connect.
So
And
is there
then
a
also,
login of some kind?
yeah, login, we were halfway there, but the submission time was there.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I think we can
Thank you.
move to the next team. Trojan
Which was this
Horcrux.
team?
If you guys are there, I think this
the
was
team?
Stoners, number 6. Stoners is the Youngster app.
Okay,
Coming
good.
up is Trojan Horcrux, number 7. So we have 4 more presentations to finish.
So good evening, everyone. We are Team Trojan Horcrux. We have 4 members: Angelo Antu, Sunil, Archita Sunil Kumar, Siddharth Haridas, and myself, Tanushri. Today, we are presenting the idea of smart display. We have been doing online classes for the past 2 years. All the assignments, lectures are done using the mediums of screens. Either solution was that we combined the advantages of mobile phones and monitor screens. We took the accessibility of mobile screens along with the bigger display and reduced eye strain of monitor screen. This app will send text to the mobile phones while navigating automatically on the monitor screen.
So I'll just show how it works with the animation. So this is the person now looking at our app. So he doesn't have to look at the monitor, but he can see the monitor through his phone. He's looking at his notebook and the face is getting detected.
in automatic scroll applications, the font and the zoom in problem still is there, which doesn't solve the problem of eye strain. Whereas in our application, the fonts are zoomed in, and we don't have to zoom in like every time, and it has a proper resolution that is perfect for our eyes.
I'll show a video demonstration of how it works and what you have done yet. Siddharth, you can take on.
Yeah. So as you can see here, I'm writing down the notes from looking from my phone, and when I write, there's a slight movement of my head from left to right as I write down the lines. So this movement is detected using the face recognition, and correspondingly, the image is also scrolled from left to right. So once it scrolls fully from left to right, it scrolls a bit down and starts from left to right again. So this is how the face recognition thing works.
I will just show the survey part we did, and then we'll move on to conclusion. So we did survey and we got these responses. These are the surveys. So like, yeah. We asked 185 have some disadvantages in our project. We are mainly focusing on the students, because we developed this because we had this problem. So now I'll go on to the conclusion part.
So
yeah, around 1 minute. Yeah.
Okay.
To conclude, more features implemented to our prototype, just dark mode, warm light, and all. Another feature which we would like to implement is text recognition feature. With the help which we can from subtitles. So it's a very useful app. Thank you.
Finish the presentation and we have questions.
Yeah, interesting solution. So the video has to be always on,
yeah,
right?
I know
in
laptops.
That maybe okay. Yeah, so that may be a little bit of a disadvantage, but I think only that way you can come to your solution. So maybe justified. So is there some baselining you have done, because the way the laptops kept the height, everything changes, right? It need not be the same all the time. How do you account for that?
Yeah, actually this can, okay, I will just show, should I show the code? Does it actually work with every
no,
height?
It's better you explain it.
Yeah, okay. So actually it works on a dynamic reference point. So actually if our, for example, it's not the middle part of the camera part is the reference point. So it is like a dynamic reference point. Even if it is kept at any angle, it can detect until the face is visible. So like it will work for every angles. So that won't be a problem. We are analyzing the graph and all of the previous and creating a reference point using that previous curve of the coordinates of the face. So that won't be a problem, I guess.
Yeah, okay. I leave it to other judges.
Yeah, very interesting solution. One point I didn't understand is why do you need both the laptop and the mobile?
Okay, so yeah, I will say that. So actually we researched about it, and if you're using mobile only, for example, you're using mobile only, the image processing part won't exactly work, because we are keeping the mobile on the notebook level. And there are many points, there are also other points. For example, most of the study materials are organized in our computer, and like mostly people keep it in their laptop and everything.
No, that's all okay. No, from the application point of view,
yeah,
the other
that's
aspects,
the main point.
Yeah.
It will just detect the ceiling. That's why. If you're using laptop screen, we can exactly see your face.
Okay, so basically you are using the webcam from the camera in the laptop, right?
Laptop, yeah. Basically, everyone has laptop these days.
Probably another camera also will work. You don't need a
of course.
Yeah.
But as we are like this
Agreed. I got your point. But maybe some people won't have laptop also. But I understand why you mean. And another thing, probably you can have some voice commands also incorporated.
Yeah. We will like this was a 24-hour hackathon, so we couldn't actually make it out.
Correct.
Yeah.
So all these algorithms, are they running on the mobile? Or where
No. These algorithms are running on Python inside the computer only.
Inside the laptop.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, probably. Yeah, but anyway, the idea is interesting. But as a solution, you will have to think more because when you actually, I understand why do you need this laptop and the mobile. Probably it can be iterated with a single device only. It might be more attractive. But very nice idea, and I understand the motivation. Good.
Yeah, actually, it started because of this neck problem only. We
Yeah,
asked it in our class and all, and then we did research about it.
So this entire thing you have developed over the last 24 hours, or you already have?
It is actually a simple code. This is not that much complex code. Actually, there are three.
There are libraries available. You just have.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. So I actually have different views compared to the other two judges. I feel you have taken a non-existing problem and created a very complex solution for it. Because if this problem was severe, by now somebody would have come up with a better problem, because everybody uses a mobile or a laptop or some device at any point of time, and you are quite used to zooming in, zooming out. Even for old people, you have zoom in, zoom out apps. So why do you need such a complex solution with face tracking, and then you need both the devices at all point of time? The solution is more troublesome for me.
Okay, so first of all, how it started was like we get PDFs from classes and all. So for completing practical lab, for example, so getting it into the mobile phone, zooming and as you said, like zooming and there are automatic for zooming and zooming out, but that won't be that much accurate. Like it might be the speed might differ and all, and then we have to also hassle for sending it.
That depends on the people, and you yourself have given the survey, which is actually not a supporting survey. Statistically, in your survey, there are equal number of people who prefer both monitor or phone. So whoever prefers phone will use phone. Whoever prefers monitor will prefer monitor. You cannot force a monitor user to use a phone or vice versa.
But actually, most of the monitor users have the neck problem. So
not necessary, right? There are other things for that. In a laptop, you have stands, high stands, or like backrest, or like depending on what position.
Even if there are stands and all, writing from notebook, like if the mobile is kept on the notebook, we can actually save much time than rather looking at a specific degree. As you said, there are stands. So like looking up and down, it will still have some up and down because of the angle. So like if it is kept, we don't have to like keep looking up and down. So it will also increase the time efficiency of the, like actually when I was doing the project and like I was doing the practical file, half of my time was wasted due to looking up and down. So actually if it was on mobile screen and it was auto scrolling, that time would have been saved.
Balesh, the question.
Yeah, one more thing, sir. Like, see, how many pages are you looking at? That's why we have a simple device called printer.
Yeah, printer. Like, what if we have many PDFs? Like, we have in our basic mechanical engineering classes, we get PDFs and all, like huge PDFs. So we can't actually print them, all of them. Like, there are 500 pages for each text. Can we like print everything?
No, but then you are trying to take notes out of everything. Then if you need notes out of all those things, then you better print it, right? Why do you want to write all those things? That's why I'm not able to understand why you need to write.
Well, this is a very specific problem which will
come into picture when think of students attending classes at their home. They don't have access to printer, but I definitely don't support the idea of having two devices. That definitely even yeah.
I'll have to interfere because of time constraints. I think the point is made, right? I think Balesh and Nalesh.
No problem. Yeah, thank you.
Right. So thank you, team. Interesting presentation. We can move to the next one. I think Crypto Rebels.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
If you have joined, please introduce yourself, and share the screen.
Yes, sir. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sneha, and I'll be presenting on the behalf of my team, Crypto Rebels. So I would like to present a small video that gives you a walkthrough of our whole project. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you.
Hello developers, we, the Crypto Rebels team, are here to give you a brief tour of our project. So the first and the most difficult step was searching for an idea. But after a lot of soul searching, actually problem searching, we did find one. We couldn't really find a decentralized platform for creators to showcase their arts and get supported by their fans without any intermediary involved. We wanted their art to speak for itself and not some platform deciding how much they should be paid for their art. Also, none of them accepted crypto payments. So we built a decentralized platform for creators that works on a P2P system, that is a peer-to-peer system. So the fans could directly pay the creators for their art. And all of it is done by a smart contract and not by a smart human.
The volume is going low.
Using Celo tokens. Now what?
Yes, I'll just check.
Exactly makes us stand out of the crowd. What is that one feature that could differentiate us from all the other platforms out there? A decentralized platform. Maybe a P2P network, so no intermediary. Yeah, sounds good. Accepting crypto payments in the form of Celo tokens. Quite impressive. Rewarding system for fans. Oh yes, this is that one feature that separates our product from all the other products out there. We will be implementing a reward system for all those fans showing unconditional support to their
Still not
affordable. So here we have multiple
The audio is actually low. You might want to, play the video and do a voiceover instead.
Okay, so sir, shall I start from the beginning?
I think maybe 30 seconds you can go back.
Okay.
Just mute the audio and, of the YouTube streaming and just say what is happening on the screen.
Okay, so I'll start from here.
Yeah.
So we tried implementing a decentralized platform, which we built a decentralized platform for creators that works on a peer-to-peer system. So the fans could directly pay the creators for their art. And all of it is implemented via smart contract. So the network also accepts crypto payments. That is, here we are using Celo tokens. So now what exactly makes our product stand out of the crowd? So we will be implementing a rewarding system for fans in which, so we create, here we have multiple users who will be paying multiple creators for their art. So the amount, instead of being sent to the creator, is logged. And the amount is sent to the vault here. So the log sends the tokens to the creator periodically. And the rest of the token that is stored in the vault yields interest. So in a month time or so, like a periodic time, a lottery system is implemented, and a user is selected. Like the winning user gets the token that has been generated as the interest in the vault. So the one thing that we found could create was a problem was when we have a larger amount in the vault, so obviously the interest generated was more. So a condition could occur where a lot of users would focus on one creator. But in that case, it becomes a large pool of users where the probability of winning in the lottery becomes less, even though the amount is more. So for that case, we have an alternative that the user joins a smaller pool and supports other creators. So the probability of winning becomes more, although the amount is less. So this is what our project is about. So in the further video, we have shown the implementation of the app. So for that, I'll have to go with the video. That works. For all those fans showing unconditional support to multiple creators, for an the total will arise but the ability is
Artistry Sandbox is a decentralized platform for content creators to showcase their work and get paid, and for the fans to support their favorite content creators without any intermediaries. So now let's look at some of the features of this platform. There are no intermediaries. The platform is completely decentralized. So there are no intermediaries between the fans and the creators. The payment is directly made to the creator. Then we have an NFT marketplace. You can sell your content in the form of NFTs within the platform. And finally, we have the unique feature which separates us from other platforms is the rewards for the fans. The fans get rewarded in the form of seller tokens for supporting the favorite content creators. And now let's look into the platform. On clicking this connect wallet, you can connect your wallet with the platform. On clicking, a MetaMask pop-up comes up. You can select your account and connect to the platform. Once your account is connected, you can go to the creators section. Here, you can search for your favorite creators or explore new creators within the platform. This is the page for the creators. Here you can see there are one private posts and to require one seller per month for the membership fee. To view the post, you would have to take the membership. Now, clicking on the subscribe button would open up a MetaMask transaction. Once the transaction is completed, you can view the post created by the creator. As a creator, you can create posts with a title, description, and an image. Now, when the post is clicked, it opens up a MetaMask pop-up. And once the post is created, you can visit your profile and check for the post. When a user creates his account for the first time, the user will be prompted to enter the username, a short description, the membership amount, and a profile image. So that's all about our platform, Artistry Sandbox, a decentralized platform for fans and creators.
So yeah, that's all from our side.
Okay. So quick question, how much of this was done in the past 24 hours?
Sir, like all of it.
All of it. Okay.
Yes.
So what's the front end made out of?
So these guys have used Tailwind CSS, Next.js.
Okay. And what is the crypto?
So we are
What's the blockchain used?
Celo as a platform.
Okay. Did you test it out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I have no further questions. Balesh and Alish, go ahead.
So when you mentioned Celo platform, okay, I have not heard of Celo, so you will have to help me with that. So you have created a platform on a platform. It is an app, not a platform on a platform. It's a basic trading app, marketplace app.
Yes, sir. It's a platform.
NFT marketplace app on Celo platform.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We are using Celo because like when we saw like Polygon and Ethereum, so all of the deployment and all like costs really high in the terms of gas fees and all, but Celo is like quite affordable. So yeah, that is why we used it as a platform. And
So you have created an NFT marketplace app on Celo platform, because like see your first page itself says a decentralized platform. So I was like quite impressed that okay, you guys created an entire blockchain platform in 24 hours. So you have basically used a platform to create an app.
Yes, sir.
So you have to be clear with like what you have built.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing else from my side. Maybe I'll wait for Nalesh's questions also. Dr. Nalesh's question. Maybe that will get some
Nothing
idea.
from my side also. It's not something which I'm very like I don't have much idea about crypto and secrets.
Okay. So thank you, team.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So I think that finishes the regular competition. We have 2 more in Hack for CUSAT. We had done puzzles before. The next is Bro Code. So if you are ready, please unmute and speak up.
Yes, sir. We are ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is the screen presentation visible?
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing a web application named Print for You. So basically, what it does is students. Basically, we're designing it for students. So students can upload PDFs or documents, and they can like we connect the students to a printing shop. So for example, you don't need to wait for too long for getting a printout. You can just upload it into our web application, and then you can just go collect the printout later whenever you're free. So that's the basic idea. The problem statement was in college areas, especially in my college, I faced several problems with this, especially recently. For example, we had a SEM exam recently, and then we had to take a printout of a hall ticket. So there was this big. There are several print shops available for like availing printing activities. But then there was this big shop, and then it was so overcrowded, and the students were all anxious about the printouts. It was very crowded, and the workers were also very hassling. So it was kind of messy and unorganized because everybody was going in last minute for their printouts, for collecting their printouts. So we thought maybe we could improve the situation by introducing our web application. It also avails the quality that, for example, students recently in online classes, we don't always write notes. So there are maybe a few students who write the whole notes, and then they share the PDF across WhatsApp or whatever. But then most of us don't like studying out, like staring at the screen for long hours to study. That's not something we all prefer. Some people prefer textbooks and printouts rather than screens. So they'll print it out. So to aid this, we just thought of the idea that a student could upload their PDF notes into the web application, and then other students can access this. Like they have a choice when uploading whether they can have it in a private or a public. So if you upload it publicly, the other students or fellow members can access these notes, and then they can print it. So the quality for the student uploading the PDF is that whenever a fellow person downloads and prints their PDF, they get a small reward, like maybe reward coins. So that's an idea. Like, why would the students and the shop owners prefer our site? Because it's it's always a hassle to go, especially when you need like the whole college needs their hall tickets the previous day. everybody goes into the shops. Every shop near the college is surrounded by students, and then it's all a hassle. And then sometimes you may be running late and you forgot to print out your project or assignment or whatever. So you could just send it send it before and then collect it from the shop and go on your way. So those are the few advantages that we saw while creating this web application. We used Figma for prototyping, and then React for front end, and the Firebase for backend. But then due to the limited time, we were not able to do much of the backend. So I'd like to show the prototype in Figma. So when you take this application, first you have the option to create an account. So if else, you can just, if you already have an account, you just go log in with your email and password and then log in. So here are the options we provide. For example, print. When clicking print, they can upload. A person can upload their PDF and then select the number of copies and the color and then submit it. It takes them to a payment gateway where they give the cost beforehand. Then the upload function means a student uploading their notes to be available publicly. So they can just upload their PDF and then submit it, and it will appear in the shared documents over here. When clicking on, the shared documents are all the publicly available documents that the other students uploaded, and you can just click on it and then select the number of copies you need and the color, then you can submit it for printing. You also go to a payment gateway there. So that's the basic idea behind this.
Okay. Is the presentation over?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever try integrating the printer or just the screens as of now?
I'm sorry, sir.
Did you you mentioned print for you, the whole flow? Did you implement that, or at the moment just the design screens?
We only have the designs and the idea right now. We haven't implemented it. Okay. I mean, we haven't been able to complete it satisfactorily.
Okay. And this is like a kiosk, or let's say you're obviously you're using the mobile phone. So this printer will be stationed where?
There are nearby shops. So those are we connect with, we integrate with the shopkeepers, and then that's how we circulate the whole thing.
Right. So they need their own admin software.
Yes, each shop will have access to their own admin page where they can decide. So also while integrating, we thought of the problem that what if one shop gets overcrowded with their with printing choices. So when making and when connecting with the shop, we decided that we'll have to ask for their capacity at a time. For example, it might be a large shop with lots of printers around, so they can maybe take 100 PDF, a certain number of pages a day, at a time. But then there might be other small shops which might have only 2 or 3 printers available. So they might only accept maybe 40 pages at a time. So
that part is fine. Obviously capacity, all those has to be considered. I'm just trying to understand, how this will improve a system. Let's say what we are doing right now, right? So we might be emailing it to someone, right? Instead, you're sending it via a mobile app, right?
Yes.
As long as it is not directly, using a print server and connecting to a printer, the method is still the same. No, the document reaches the shop via email or the app, and then they have to give it for print.
Yes.
So it is just really the money part that is being automated.
Well, when sending it to the email of the shop, we might not always know the email of the shop. For example, I had the same case.
Okay, so let's say in that way you are saying you are an aggregator of all the printing options. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, other questions?
I have one quick question. How will you manage security? You will be scheduling these prints. So it will get printed at one of those shops. So how will you manage the security of what is getting printed?
When connecting a person and their shop, each transaction or each request will have a specific reference ID. So when this student goes to collect the printout, he has to give the reference ID in order to obtain the printout.
So you'll have to put some process, like as soon as the print is out of the printer, they have to probably keep it in a cover or somewhere which is safe, not just lie open.
Yes.
Okay. So that is a good solution. You can have an OTP or some reference, and at the time of collection, they can directly collect the package, which is already printed and kept there.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but as Balesh told, you might not have, because we are open to all these printers where documents just lie around, but that may not be true when you look for a generalized solution. So what Balesh said is a valid point. Probably you can provide some secure printing option also, where you yourself provide some covers. I don't know, something like that you might have to think.
Correct. In fact, they are solving one problem, which is when people go around all these shops with their USB stick, they are ending up giving away all the soft copy.
Correct.
This system, you don't need the soft copy at all. So you can directly send it to the printer, just collect it, put it in a closed sealed cover, and go and collect it from that printer shop with an OTP or something.
Yeah, and hopefully it reduces the crowd at Timbus.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You can actually put some thoughts through, and this is an implementable solution.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. I think we can move on. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we can go to the final team. Yeah. This was a bro code in Hack for Cusat category.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we'll go to the final presentation, which is tiny coders in Hack for Cusat model. So if you have joined, you can unmute and share the screen.
Hi everyone. We are tiny coders. So we have come up with a solution. We have come up with a new product like KuPay or the Cusat Pay. So different from the Google Pay, Paytm, and other payment apps. If we are in need of money, we ask our friends to send us the money. So now let us consider a situation when our friends do not have enough money to send us. We need around 4,000 or 3,000, and we immediately need it. And it is really difficult. And our friends are not able to afford it at that time. So we have come up with an app in which a person can lend or borrow money, and the identities of both the person will not be revealed to the users. Let us consider a situation I need a 5,000 rupees immediately, and I ask my friends can you give me this 5,000? But I'm not able to get that much amount of money. So what I do is I use my app and I look for borrowers, and I see that there are about 4 to 5 people who are ready to lend me 5,000, or there are various other people who are ready to send me 1,000, 2,000, and collectively I am able to get this 5,000 rupees. So what I do is I collect that money from these users. I borrow the money and I keep it and I use it. Now, in return, what we do is for the lender, a small interest is being given, similar to a bank. If I take 1,000 rupees, 1,010 rupees is given to him. So the 10 rupees is a small profit. Now let us take to the business scale. It may be coming around 1,012, and maybe 10 rupees to that person and 2 rupees for the 2 rupees for the company. So what we are trying to do is immediately for the Cusat students, immediately if we need some money, immediately solve that issue. We have also other facilities our KuPay app mainly consists of main 5 services: lend, borrow, withdraw, add to wallet, and scan QR. Lend and borrow, I had explained earlier. Withdraw money, if we had put some amount of money in our app, we can withdraw any amount of, we can withdraw the money at any time. Now add to wallets, similar to other wallets. Then scan QR, what we are trying to come up with, near to the Cusat, there are various shops. So we'll be opening up, there will be our wallets, KuPay wallets. So we will be trying to buy certain things like small books, pens, pencils. So and we will be, in return, we will be giving a collectively KuPay coins. We buy something for 10 rupees or 20 rupees, then we will get a small fraction of coin. maybe a small fraction of coin. Now we come up and buy something around like collectively over it is a process, and we buy certain things for 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, and we will be getting like a few coupe coins. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to convert this coupe coins into real money, which can be used to buy certain things from those shops. So like there will be a small profit for the user as well as the shopkeepers, and from that a small profit we would be using. And also the thing is, yeah, basically that's like this is a lending page where like the lenders would be shown. Like these are the lenders who are ready to pay. It's like I need 500 rupees, so I can see a person who's ready to lend me 500, 1,000, 2,500. I can select any person of my choice. Now also what we are trying to do is like for initially while signing up, we are trying to enter the Aadhaar card number, PAN card number, and there is a legal terms and condition. The question is, what if we don't pay back the money? So we are trying to come up with certain legal documentations such that the person is subjected to pay that money back, or if like he is agreeing to the terms that if he does not pay the money back, he can be like legal. He is subjected to legal procedures, and also the person is a CUSAT student, so it's like we can easily communicate with him. The next thing is we are trying to come up with credit scores, like we lend money to someone and he takes it. So, and if he is able to borrow the money at the right time, like his credit score will be more. So depending on that, after some time, we will be knowing who to lend and who not to lend. So on corresponding to that profile, a credit score will be given. And if his credit score is less, there is no need to borrow money from him. There is no need to lend money to him. So the other thing is like what if same person, like what if two persons try to communicate with each other at the same, like there is a person X and there is a person Y. If we are like first we thought of generating one ID instead of like, since both are anonymous, we thought of generating an ID. Like for a person X, there will be an ID 1, and for a person Y, there will be an ID 2. So like one and try to communicate with each other, and there is like they two transact with each other. Like they become like if like 1,000 rupees he takes from 2, and he pays like 1,000. One is supposed to give him 1,010, but after a long time, they might like get to know about each other. So he might only pay 1,000 rupees. So that 2 rupees as a profit is lost for us. So instead, we are coming up with generating a unique IDs at each transactions. So maybe for the first time, A will be having an ID 1. For the next time, A will be having an ID 2. And this will be stored in a database. This is basically what we are doing. So this is this is what we have come up with. So that's it. That's a basic presentation.
Okay. Before I give it to Balesh and Nalesh. So you have made the design of the screens, or is it just a presentation at the moment?
No, like it's an app. Like we will just share our app right now. So just a moment.
Okay.
So this is our app. This is our front screen. Like, let's go. This is our sign-in page. We have sign in and sign up, and then sign up. In sign up, we write the Gmail, Aadhaar card, PAN card number, department is specified, admission number, and the password. And on pressing confirm, we move to the sign-in page. And in sign in, we sign in with the Gmail and the corresponding password, and these are stored in a database. And these are the 5 options that I have talked about: lend, borrow, withdraw, scan QR, and add to wallet. And lend money, on pressing it, we are able to enter the amount of money we are ready to lend to that person. And in the borrow. And in the borrow screen, these may be the available lenders who are ready to lend us this amount of money, and we can lend it from one person or from a group of person. Then the next one is withdraw money. Like as I told, like if we have any money in this app, we are able to withdraw it at any time. Then scan QR, we are currently working on it. We have not implemented it. Then add to wallet, similar to a Paytm wallet. This is what we have come up with just with the basic outline. Like over time, we are trying to build it.
Yeah. So I know this is a concept. Just my thoughts on this, right? So most of these wallet apps, are really about volume, right? It's not like they're charging on the transaction, but they have huge expenses that having the money transaction go through them gives them understanding about how your spending goes and things like that. Right? That's where all the
Yeah.
data is really money,
Yeah.
right? But if you limit yourselves to CUSAT, that option is gone.
No, like
right? So running this whole infrastructure,
no, we are not
maybe
taught it in a small scale. Like initially, as an initial part, we are trying to work it with SQSAT. If it works, like a scale
regulations and all. At a very large scale, like what Vijay mentioned, is possible, but then again, that space is cluttered. There are just too many apps.
Yes.
So unless you come up with some nice, unique selling proposition, I don't know how you will take it to the next step.
Yes.
Okay, Nalesh sir.
Yeah. Yeah, all the concerns with Vijay and Balesh told that's there. But let's limit ourselves to the CUSAT community itself. Let's see. So what happens if someone is not willing to pay back? What will you do?
Yeah. So that, like that's what we like. We are linking with like Aadhaar.
Apart from the legal aspects itself, just think of someone not willing to pay and you are responsible. So Aadhaar card and all is useless for CUSAT student community, right?
No, so
How
like
you
we thought of like a personal details so that if something goes wrong, we thought of going
cannot
legally.
do it. Okay, yeah. But anyways, yeah, you have done a good job on the tech side, yes. But the application as such has all these issues. Okay, thank you.
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tiny Coders team. I
Thank
think
you, sir.
we have come to the end of the evaluation. So everyone except the organizers can drop off. Can we stop the live stream? Just an announcement. We can decide on 5:15 as yeah. Okay, yes, sir. Nothing will be So I
We'll
think
start.
we can start.
Yeah. Okay. So good afternoon, Mr. Balesh, Dr. Nalesh, Dr. Bijoy, my student coordinators, Naseem, Kiran, Nitin, and all my participants. So we have come to the end of Megaton 4 CUSAT Hackathon, the flagship event of City CUSAT. So as we mentioned yesterday, Megaton has become a brand for CUSAT, and every year we have more than 100 plus students across the state, across the country participating in this prestigious event and presenting their ideas. This year's hackathon, though we wanted to do it offline and finally had to settle for online, it was inaugurated by the Honorable Vice Chancellor yesterday in the presence of Mr. Prasad Balakrishnan, the former CEO of Mega Village and the Special Officer KPPL. We had 44 teams starting off. I was so happy to note that 40 teams, practically all the teams who started off yesterday, continued till the very end. And that is what we were discussing yesterday. All delegates were saying. The spirit of hackathon is not about winning a cash prize; it's about going through this experience, the experience of peer learning, the experience of the innovation, the experience of team management and leadership and whatnot. So that way, as I mentioned yesterday, I can declare all 40 of you as winners of this hackathon. But just like any hackathon, we should have definitely winners. Someone who has done slightly better than others. To that extent, we have to pick some winners, and I think our panel of judges have arrived at a consensus on the winners of Megaton 4. Before I pass it on to the judges to declare the winners on behalf of City, I would like to thank all the people who are connected to this, especially the judges, Dr. Nalesh and Mr. Balesh, who have spent the full Sunday afternoon. We all understand for working professionals the importance of Sunday afternoon, but they have sacrificed the whole Sunday afternoon for this event. I mean, though we promised them 2 hours, I think it's more than 3 hours now, right? But still they are with us. So on behalf of CITIC, I thank Nalesh and Mr. Balesh for being with us and supporting this event, and we look forward to your continued support. I congratulate my team volunteers who are phenomenal. Naseem, Kiran, Nitin are all here as representative. They have done an amazing job of organizing it. Hats off to you guys. I mean, I'm sure this would have been an equally enriching learning experience for you as well as coordinators. So without wasting much time, I mean, also Dr. Bijoy, who has been spearheading this project from the side of City. I mean, organizing members, and it has been his role as far as CITIC is concerned, who are single-handedly spearheading and guiding you people from the scratch. So I'm handing it over to the judges now. I request both the judges, Dr. Nalesh, to start off with sharing his feedback and views on the whole Megaton 4, and then announce the winners of the general drive. And then as CUSAT alumni, I would request Mr. Balesh again to share his views as well as to declare the winner under the Hack for CUSAT drive. Over to you, Dr. Nalesh. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sam sir. So yeah, as Sam sir mentioned, it was a very tough job for us. So there were some very amazing ideas, very difficult to judge, but very interesting and like as we had spent our time worthwhile. That's what I feel. The work they have done over the last 24 hours, it's phenomenal. There was some tough competition, but anyway, as sir mentioned, there should be some winners also. So we have decided. So I think the plan was to have 1 second prize, but because of the tough competition, so I'll first announce the second prize and then the winner. We have 2 second prizes. We have XDev from GEC Thrissur and Codex from SOE, who will be sharing the second prize. So congratulations, guys. Both of you have done very good job. So it was difficult to differentiate between you guys. So well done. So announcing the winner. So we have Hack Bites from SOE CUSAT. They are the winners of this year's hackathon. So congratulations to you. So you had a very good presentation and you had a very good idea and like you were able to present it well and implement like most of it. So that was what was impressive. Anyway, congratulations to all the guys who have participated, even those who have shortlisted and the others. I'm sure they would have had a very good learning time and keep it up and keep up the good work. That's what I have to tell you. Thank you, Samsar and Vijay for inviting me to be part of this panel. Thank you.
Mr. Balesh, please.
Thank you, Samsar. Thank you, Vijay, and glad to meet people like Nalesh and the rest of the team. It was a pleasure. Like I echo Dr. Nalesh's thought. Like it was not a waste of our time. In fact, I would go one step further. Back 20 years back when we used to be students, the books used to be our only source. We had to wait in library for days to just get the right book. Most of the things which we used to study were at least 3 or 5 years old. Like it has to come as a research paper, then become a book, and then it will come into curriculum. I'm super glad and so excited to see that people are working on AI, ML, blockchain. I mean, the ideas what we saw today were not something from academics. The problems which people were solving in this hackathon and the kind of code, like I got to learn a lot of new things, new platforms. Some of the platforms which the students were working on are things which I have not heard of. I had to Google it out, while judging. So it was really exciting for me. And it was very, very tough, especially, because we were going through a structured method of scoring. Like some of them had very good technical solutions, but they probably lost out few points on the business plan or in a completely different reason. So they should not feel bad. Even like the 4th, 5th, 6th positions and all, they lost out by just 1 point. So that way, never lose heart. Don't worry about whether you are in the 1st or 2nd or 3rd, but a lot of these ideas are implementable and you have a very good scope. So with that, let me quickly announce there is only one winner for the Hack for CUSAT, and that is Team Brocode. And the reason for that is this is a very easy, simple idea, and it is implementable and it solves a real problem, which I'm surprised that still exists because it used to exist 20 years back. So, so it really needs a solution. Okay. So with that, I pass the mic back to Samsar and Vijay.
Yeah, thank you, Balesh. So with that, we are coming to the end of the whole process. I request my colleague, Dr. Bijoy, who is a faculty coordinator in charge of Hackathon 4.0, for his concluding remarks. Over to you, Bijoy.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I would like to thank our judges, esteemed panel, Balesh, Lakshmi Narayan, Nalesh, and Srikanth, who is not present in the final function from TCS, for spending the time on a Sunday with students, afternoon learning new things and passing their insights back to the students and how things can be made better. Again, obviously, even though we are presiding over the final function, it is actually the student organizing team which has made it happen. I've known a few names, Naseem, Kiran, and Nitin, and few other names here, but I think, there is a lot of enthusiasm in CUSAT because of CITIC, and I hope, the next batch, right? So they come and do more versions of Makeathon, and this continues, that legacy is maintained. Of course, there is CITIC, not just faculty, there is also staff involved. Just want to recognize their effort in organizing all this, and a special mention to SOE Alumni Association and IEEE RFID Kerala chapter, who are sponsoring the prizes, cash prizes. And once again, congratulations to all the winners, and congratulations to people who have, spend their time learning new things you during a hackathon, right? So definitely, if not a prize today at the final event, it will definitely help your career. That right attitude is there for something, that is practical and implementable, in 24 hours. So congratulations to all of you for participating. And with that, we can conclude today's function. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.